So good morning students. So again we are back to the video class. So due to the COVID-19 has been reduced, so we are almost normal again due to the increase in the COVID-19. So again we are back to the video class. Earlier we were in the video class itself. So now again back to the video class. So already we have been completed the portion. I think hardly 2 to 3 lessons are there. So we will complete it. So already I have said after the examination we will complete those lessons I have said. So but due to the order by the government to close the school till the 28th, so afterwards we'll have the examination. But now, so whatever the remaining lessons are there, so those lessons will be completed. So we have been in the history, we have been studying till the Chalukyas of Kalyana, we have been studied in history. Already till the Chalukyas of Kalyana we have been finished. So during studying of the Chalukyas of Kalyana, the social revolutionary reformer, regarding the Basavana we have been studied, and regarding the Vachana literature which has been flourished during the, so those were the concepts which we have been studying. But today we are going to study regarding one of the important South Indian dynasty, and it has been contributed a lot towards the history of India, which has been contributed a lot towards the history of India. I think while studying itself, I'll say how much they have been contributed towards the history of India and what are their contribution. Today also their contribution we can see in the other countries. So today we are going to study regarding the Cholas. They ruled from 850 to 1279 CE. Means from 9th century to 13th century. They ruled from 9th century to 13th century. So after the Pallavas, the Cholas secured the hold in the southern India, especially in the peninsular region. So after the Pallavas, Cholas secured the firm hold on the areas of the Tamil Nadu, Andhra and Karnataka. From 9th to 13th century. So to them goes to the credit of spreading the Indian culture in the foreign land. So the credit of spreading Indian culture in the foreign land, that credit goes to the Cholas. Why? I'll say it later with the lively example I'll say, which has been very familiar to you. And the construction of the grand temples like Brihadeshwara temple is their contribution. Tanjavur was their capital. Which was their capital? Tanjavur. Cholas of Tanjavur. They have been called as Cholas of Tanjavur. Tanjavur was their capital. So Tanjavur was their capital. Question may come. Which was the capital of Cholas? Tanjavur. Tanjavur was their capital. So next, the Cholas. Earlier, the Cholas were under the Pallavas for some time, and later they became independent. So earlier, Pallavas were ruling over that region. So after the decline of the Pallavas, so Cholas became independent. According to Sangama literature, Karikala Chola is the founder of the dynasty. According to Sangama literature, Karikala Chola is the founder of the dynasty. According to Sangam literature, Karikala Chola is the founder of the dynasty. So Vijayalaya Chola reviewed the kingdom and made Tanjavur as the capital. So Vijayalaya Chola reviewed the kingdom, means extended the kingdom in all the direction, made the kingdom strong, and made Tanjavur as their capital. At present it is also been called as Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu itself. So made Tanjavur as their capital. An important king among the Chola dynasty was Raja Chola. First, the important king of the Chola dynasty was Raja Chola first. Was the important king among the Chola dynasty. Raja Chola first was the important. So he was the brave warrior and the able administrator. As the founder of the Chola Empire, he strengthened the foundation and expanded the kingdom. Means whatever these two has been done, further or continued, he extended the kingdom in all the direction and led the solid for the further. Means laid the solid foundation for the upcoming rulers. Means made a kingdom very strong in all the aspects. Made the kingdom very strong in all the aspects. So he overpowered or he defeated the Cheras, Gangas, Pandyas. He defeated the Cheras, Gangas, Pandyas. He also built a naval force. He also built a naval force and captured Sri Lanka. And captured Sri Lanka also. Who is he? Rajaraja Chola first. He also built the naval force and he also captured Sri Lanka also. We can see the predominance of the Tamilians in the Malaysia and Singapore. Now, so earlier what I have said, now I can hear. So we can see the predominance of the Tamilians in the Malaysia and Singapore. Why we can see the predominance? Because during from the Cholas itself, they have been built a naval force and they had a trade contact. From the 9th century itself, they had a trade contact with the Malaysia and Singapore. Malaysia and Singapore. So the people from the Tamil Nadu, they went and settled there during the 9th century itself, and they built their culture, their tradition in the Malaysia and Singapore. Best example is one of the Rajnikant film, Kabali. Kabali is one of the best example film that how the film goes on. Natives and the foreigners. Who are the foreigners? These Tamilians are the foreigners. But they are having a film hold in that region. Film hold in this. They have been developed or they have been taken part in the each and every aspect of the society in the Malaysia and Sri Lanka, in the Malaysia and Singapore. So today, with Kabali film of the Rajnikant, is the best example that the Tamilians are very strong in those countries. So this is due to the Cholas itself, what they have been built a naval force and they have trade contact with those countries due to that itself. And today, they are very influenced in the political, economic and cultural activities of the countries. They have been overseen trade with the continual of the till date. Brihadeshwara temple built by Rajaraja Chola first in Tanjore is very famous. Today, till now it has been very famous. Brihadeshwara temple built by Rajaraja Chola. Rajaraja Chola first is one of the most unique contribution of the Cholas. Even today, I think recently 1000 years has been celebrated of that temple. Recently, the 1000 years has been celebrated of that temple, and it is that temple pic has been added in one of our note also, one of our the currencies also. It has been added. So next, the Chola Empire weakened. After Rajaraja Chola, Chola Empire weakened. Rajendra Chola III was been overthrown by the Pandyas. And thus it was the end in the 13th century by defeating Rajendra Chola. Pandyas defeated the Rajendra Chola and thus they put an end to the Chola dynasty. How the Cholas has been put an end to the Pallava dynasty, same thing Pandyas have put an end to the Chola dynasty. So this is regarding their earlier and the important rulers of the Chola dynasty. So now the contributions of the Chola dynasty. So Cholas has set up an efficient administrative system. So today what the election system we have been seeing, that election system was witnessed during the Chola time itself. That too in the 9th to 13th century itself it has been witnessed. So here the kingdom has been divided into Mandala, Kottavangi, Nadu and Kurram. Kingdom has been divided. So that is in the Tamil language. How it has been in the other dynasties they have been divided. Same time. So today we can compare it to the state, district, taluk and village we can compare. So in Tamil it is in Tamil language. So in Tamil language. So kingdom has been divided into Mandalam, Kottavangi, Nadu and Kurram. So in this the kingdom has been divided. The community, Kurram was a community or a village, community of a village, and it was been called as Tara Kurram. The village community was been called as Tara Kurram. So there was a committees of subjected. There was a committees in the village community. How today we are having the committees. In the same way in the village community there are committees were there, and those committees were been called as Ul. So it is written as Ur. Those committees were been called as Ur. In every village there was a committee, and that committee was been called as Ur. So next, the foremost the foremost quality of the Chola administration was the development of the self-governance of the village. The village was being self-governed by the village people itself, or by the village community itself, or by the village. The Grama Sabha were the first sabhas. Grama Sabha were the first sabhas. Tarakuram was the village. Tarakuram was the village, and every kuram had a village committee named Mahasabha. So Tarakuram was a village. So every kuram had a village committee. Every kuram had a committee called Mahasabha. Every kuram had a Mahasabha. Every kuram had a village committee called Mahasabha. They were also called as Perumguri. So Mahasabhas, it is in the common, but in the Tamil language, they were in Tamil language it was being called as Perumguri. In Tamil language it was being called as Perumguri. And its members. So Mahasabha, Mahasabha members are called members. So in Tamil language it was called as Perumguri, and the members of Perumguri were called as Perumakkal. The members of Perumguri were called as Perumakkal. The members were chosen through the election. First time I think we have been came across this particular election while studying the dynasties. So first time we have came across the election. So Cholas, they have been introduced the election system in the 9th century itself. So only Sanskrit scholars, rich people were allowed to stand for the election. Only Sanskrit scholars and rich people were allowed to stand for the election. So 1/6. So what are the common in the land revenue? So 1/6 part of the land revenue used to be collected as the tax. The special attention has been given to the irrigation. Because land tax was the main source. So all the things they have been developed the irrigation, especially for the purpose of the agriculture. And the Cholas constructed many lakes. And the Bellandur Lake near Bangalore is one of their contribution. So it is in Bangalore, Bellandur Lake. Till today it is there in the Bangalore. Bellandur Lake near Bangalore, it is one of their contribution itself. They built a huge pond called Gangaikonda Cholapuram. They built a huge pond near Gangavadi, so that is called as the Gangaikonda Cholapuram, the huge pond, especially for the purpose of the agricultural. Cholas, they were the Shaivatis, and they built many Shiva temples. Brihadeshwara temple in Tanjavur is one of the world famous. Brihadeshwara temple near Tanjavur is one of the world famous. And that temple, 500 feet tall, and it is in the country yard, 250 feet width. Its Shikara is 200 feet tall. Choleshwara temple was built by Rajendran. So it has been built by Rajendran. Choleshwara temple. It has been built by Rajendran. So who has built the Brihadeshwara temple? Raja Chola has built the Brihadeshwara temple. Choleshwara temple is built by Rajendran. So Brihadeshwara temple, it has been built by Rajaradi Chola first. It is one of the unique architectural style. So recently it has been celebrated the 1000 years of the construction of that particular temple. Even today it has been world famous. So next, Apimaya temple near Chalpatna, the Choleshwara temple in Beguru near Bangalore, and Mukteshwara temple near Bindamangala are the temples of Cholas in Karnataka. These are the temples built by Cholas in Karnataka. Cholas in Karnataka means this is evidence that while Cholas were ruling, some parts of Karnataka were under the control of the Cholas. They are the control of the Cholas. The temple used to function the economic and the cultural centers. The idol of Shiva, Ganapati, Vishnu, Durga, Kakatiya of this times are very famous. Cholas established many agraharas. To encourage the education. Uttarameruru Agrahara is the famous among these. Uttarameruru Agrahara is one of the famous. Uttarameruru Agrahara is one of the famous Agrahara. Uttarameruru Agrahara. Remember, Uttarameruru Agrahara, it is one of the famous educational center during the Cholas. Uttarameruru Agrahara is one of the famous educational center of Agrahara during the Cholas. And the temples were the centers of education and of the centers of religious activities also. Centers of education and centers of religious activities also. So this was the period in which the Tamil literature found the all-round development. So this is the period of Cholas. We can say that all-round development of the Tamil literature. All-round development of the Tamil literature. And noteworthy works, or the important works, or the important literary works were the Ramayana written by Kamba, Periya Purana composed by Secular, and Tirumadeva, Jivika Chintamani. These are the famous Tamil work during the periods of the Cholas. So this is regarding the Cholas. So whatever I have been said, so those are the important things which you have to remember. So I will give some works. So afterwards, go through the Cholas, go through the only Cholas. I will give some work. So afterwards, if any doubts or anything, you can call me or you can message me. So thank you.